Hey everybody, I'm Alex Pearl, and this is Alex Smells. Like it's time for the show. Today I'm going to tell you about the unique niche fragrance called Cinemaniac by the House of Xyrena. Xyrena is certified cruelty-free by PETA, which I really like, and they're also the house that brought you the official tribute fragrance for Aaliyah. They brought you Choices by Tatiana, and they brought you Pool Boy. And as you all know, I love a good pool boy. The nose behind Cinemaniac is Killian Wells. Now, some of you might know Killian Wells better for his music, but I know him better as a nose. I'd found out about him through the House of Xyrena. He's both the founder and the lead perfumer for the house. The Xyrena scents don't really have a batch code like a traditional scent would. This one just has a little number 1 at the bottom, and what I found out is that everything is crafted in micro batches. So either yours is going to be a batch unto itself, or it's going to be made in a very small batch. And I think that's great. So what are the accords of Cinemaniac? Well, that's kind of a trick question in that Cinemaniac doesn't play by the rules, and if you try to assign it certain accords, I mean, you can give it a shot, but you're probably gonna fail. I tried, I wrote a couple of things out, and I was just like, you know what? It is what it is. Cinemaniac is both a gourmand and it's the scent of an environment, but it's so unique that it really doesn't play by established rules. The listed notes for Cinemaniac are popcorn, soda, red licorice, and soft pretzels, even though Fragrantica lists that as bread, which is kind of close, but it's also missing the point. What are the notes that I get? Well, the most prominent note in Cinemaniac is the popcorn. You get this cool melange of both fresh, super buttery popcorn and stale popcorn, and I think it's the contrast between the two of them that really nails it. I do get some of the cola smell. The interesting thing to me is this smells like the fizzy, tickling your nose, huge container of soda sort of feeling. Does that sound stupid? I hope that doesn't sound stupid, but it's true. This smells almost like it's still fizzing. I do get a note that wasn't listed, but it does come through pretty strong for me. I get something that smells like old carpeting, or that sort of velveteen, velour-y seat cover thing. I don't know how else to put it, but like textile, maybe? That really feeds into the whole theme of smelling like a theater. So I kind of smell what they mean by red licorice, but to me the red licorice note comes across more like sticky candy, almost like jujubes. And who doesn't love jujube? But seriously, it does smell to me, it smells to me 100% theater appropriate. Yeah, you have to dig for it a little bit, but I do get the sticky candy smell. I do get that pretzel note, and I get it as sort of a soft, warm, pillowy, large, like Auntie Anne's pretzel. Do you know, like at the mall where you would get those like massive freshly baked pretzels and that cheese that like was not cheese? That's what they smell like, but like minus the cheese. So what is it that comes to mind when I'm wearing Cinemaniac? So Cinemaniac was meant to evoke the sense of the place of a movie theater, and to me it succeeds so hard. It brings me right back to the New Beverly Cinema, it brings me back to the Egyptian Theater in Hollywood, it brings me back to Blockbuster Video, it brings me back to my video store growing up, which was the Video Update in Germantown, Wisconsin, which none of you remember, but I felt I should reference anyway. It reminds me of the way that American movie theaters and video rental stores should and do smell. So we've all been in this pandemic situation, lockdown, etc., for over a year now. And movie theaters, for the most part, have been closed during this time. So I picked up a bottle for each of the hosts of a podcast that I love called Cherry Bombs, and I sent a bottle to Nick and Dustin because they haven't been able to go back to the place that inspired them to make their podcast, the theater, and I wanted to bring a piece of that back into their lives, and that's the whole idea behind Cinemaniac. I've got to show you this packaging. Cinemaniac shows up in this plastic shell case that looks like it'd be for a beta or VHS tape, and I love this. I live for this. It's got a description of the scent on the back. It's got this like faux movie right on the front, and on the inside, XHS right over here. You've got the bottle encased in the plastic shell. I love this. This is feeling the whole fantasy of movies and the theater, etc. Here is the blotter card. The blotter card, I'm sure you may recognize, an homage to Blockbuster Video. I think that's brilliant. I love this so much. This is bringing me exactly what I wanted. And again, completely unique, totally unconventional. There is nothing else out there that is coming close to this. No matter what the scent is, I love attention to detail, and I love a brilliant execution, and the House of Xyrena did themselves proud with the packaging for Cinemaniac. Alright, let's talk ratings. As far as scent goes, I'm going to give Cinemaniac an A. The reason why I'm going to do that is because it had a goal in mind to pay tribute to the smell of a movie theater, and it nailed it! This is perfect. This smells exactly like what it's supposed to. But I am going to give it one caveat, in that I am a fragrance enthusiast, and if you happen to be one of the people like me or a cinephile, you are going to adore it. For everybody else, if you happen to not particularly be one of those things, then I would wonder, why are you seeking this out in the first place? As far as longevity is concerned, I'm going to give Cinemaniac a B. It lasts for about 4 to 5 hours before needing a touch-up, and it does linger as a skin scent longer than that, but if you wanted to project, it'll last about 4 or 5 hours. For projection, I'm going to give Cinemaniac another B. It fills a room effortlessly, and it is going to create that environment that it aims to. Overall, I'm going to give Cinemaniac a B. It's situational. It's not the kind of thing that I'm going to want to wear into the office, but it is something that I enjoy a lot. Would I buy it again? Maybe. I think that I would, but I'm not sure. What I would really like to do is I'd like to sample some of the other scents that Xyrena has to offer. Specifically, I've got my eye on you, Tatiana. I'd love to try those choices. See how they work out for me. Sure, the target that Cinemaniac is aiming for is a narrow one, but it hits it right in the bullseye. Cinemaniac gives you the essence of the atmosphere of the theater. If you're looking for an accessible fruity floral or a barbershop freshie, you might as well look over there, because you're not going to find it here. But if you happen to be one of those rare birds that has an appreciation for cinema and the place of cinema, yes, Cinemaniac is 100% for you. So thanks again for watching. Have fun out there as much as you can. Take care, good night, and I love ya. Ow. Ah. I picked up a bottle of... Shit, that all came out wrong.